My brother went from killing animals to being a kindergarten graduate. My sibling is 6 years old. My age is 28. In the simplest terms conceivable, my folks are terrible. They are just so bad. I had just begun my final semester of nursing school in January of last year. DSS was in the driveway the day I was leaving for class and heading to my pickup. They wanted to question me before moving further because they say that my brother is going into foster care tomorrow and that I'm the only person who can keep him. I had no idea that anything had been going on, not even that my brother had been abducted. Once more, my parents are terrible, so I cut off all communication with them and blocked them. It seems that 2 months earlier, my brother's mother gave birth to another child while suffering from meth, benzodiazepines, and Suboxone withdrawal. My dad tried meth and benzos and failed too. Sadly, the infant passed away. That day, my brother was taken out as well. Initially, he had gone to another family member, but she was unable to deal with him, and no other family member could pass a drug test. Except for me. I chose to go with him. They alerted me. He has slaughtered animals, is violent, and exhibits abhorrent behavior. In any case, I accepted him. Even though I hadn't seen my brother in a while, I thought I would give it a go. It was an awful dream. Having been expelled from kindergarten twice, he was 5 years old. I attempted to get him enrolled in a different kindergarten, but he was unable to go a day without punching, swearing, damaging classrooms, and throwing things. His kindergarten teacher had to remove him from the classroom one day because he was ruining it. He was placed in a school designated for children who can't function in public school by me. He spent 9 months there. He struck me, kicked me, spit in my face, yelled at me, laughed about it, and actively disobeyed me. He needed to be re-potty trained. He was experiencing mishaps before he came to see me. I reported him for sexual assault, which I am positive he committed, but there was no evidence, blah blah. I put him in counseling. He has PTSD, RAD, ADHD, and ODD. Every day I had to leave class to come get him. I was afraid I wouldn't succeed, yet I managed to. I had to work long hours in the emergency room before I could come get him. Fearful I would lose my job, but failed to. I made every effort. I prayed and cried more than I had in the past. I studied 100 parenting books. I felt that my 2 children weren't receiving the attention they deserved since I was giving all of my little to him. So I went to therapy for myself because it was so much. I began seeing him once a week for treatment. I went to the courthouse one day to give up my custody rights. It was just too much for me to handle. I took it back 2 days later and continued urging myself to keep trying. Become the person you were required to be. In a year, my brother has not experienced any mishaps. No animals have been hurt by him. He had to retake kindergarten, but he did so in a public school, and it has been more than 6 months since I had to pick him up. Before, he couldn't even distinguish the numerals between 1 and 10. Now, he can count to 100. Before, he was unable to even distinguish the alphabet's letters. Now, however, he is able to read. He listens when instructed to do something or stop doing something, and he expresses gratitude and pleasure. He doesn't scream, kick, strike, or bite. Additionally, he graduated from kindergarten just last week, crossing the stage. A day I often questioned if it would ever come to pass. My son, my sibling, is going to grow up and accomplish great things, in my opinion. I'm happy I persisted. I'm happy that I could fulfill my role.